Ahoy, this is Zdenka. If you have been following my channel for a while, then you know that I love to use Nifty 50 lens with Viltrox Speed Booster. And this time, Viltrox reached out to me, and this is not a paid ad, if I would be interested to test out this lens. New prime lens, 23mm is out of focus lens, f1.4. And I'm gonna be testing it obviously with Canon M6 Mark II and also Canon M50 as it is EFM mount lens. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Zdenka Darwala. If you want to learn how to take better photos and videos with the latest gear and possibly participate in creative camera challenges, consider subscribing. The design is very sleek. I do have silver version. Weight is 260 grams. Filter size is 52. Minimal aperture is f1.6. Maximum is f16. Minimal focus range is 0.3 and maximum magnification is 0.1. When you look at the lens, you can see focus length and aperture ring. It comes with metal lens hood, which is quite nice as well. 23mm. What is the view? Let's look at it practically. Let's look at the view you would actually get. So I'm gonna compare it so you get better understanding the range, the view you can actually see. First goes Viltrox Speed Booster with the 50mm lens. Next view is just with the kit lens, 15 to 45mm. Let's start with the 15mm. This is the view with 45mm. And finally, here is the view you would get with 23mm Viltrox f1.4 lens. And as you can see, it's not very wide look, so it's not probably suitable for vlogging. You would have to have extremely long selfie stick, but it is amazing for studio like I'm talking right now. You can use it for B-roll, you can use it for product shots, close-up shots. This lens, because such a low aperture, f1.4, it's a guarantee it's gonna perform very well in low light. And of course, I took the lens outside and I took a whole bunch of different random photos. I wanted to see what kind of look I can get with this lens. Because the aperture is f1.4, it gives you very shallow depth of field. That means that only little part of the photo will be sharp. Everything else is blurry. Let's increase the aperture to see when you get corner to corner sharp photos. And here is set of photos I took with different aperture values. I'm going to display the settings I had on the camera. Also, there's little tiny vignette in low aperture between f1.4 to about 3.6, which can be obviously taken out in Photoshop in case you don't want such effect. And here are some test evening shots, just random photos. I simply wanted to see what kind of ISO I am going to get with this. When it comes to video, here are some sample clips as well. I'm shooting here at f1.4 aperture. I'm going to try higher apertures as well. If you are wondering how fast is the focus, here is a sample. It's quite smooth and silent. The silent autofocus. Let me explain something. So if I'm using the 50mm lens with Viltrox Speed Booster, the 50mm lens is definitely not silent when it's focusing. It gives me a lot of noise, so I can't use it for anything else, just like B-roll and stuff like that. I'm not using it when I'm recording myself, but if you're using the 23mm lens, it is super silent. Now, when it's focusing, there is a tiny little sound when you put your ear to it. So if you have a, for example, camera which is quite sensitive internal microphone and you're using the internal built-in microphone, you might catch the sound a little bit, but if you are using the external microphone like I am, it's silent. You can absolutely use it. And here is a low light test. Here are my camera settings, and I'm using Canon M6 Mark II when I'm filming at 24 frames per second. What I didn't talk about is the focus ring and the aperture ring. What I like about the focus ring is that it is quite big. You can grab it easily and it's very smooth. It is quite easy to turn. You can turn it very lightly. The aperture ring is very close to the camera, so if you are using cage on your camera like I do, it is a bit difficult to grab it. If you don't use the cage, then it is totally fine. It is a little bit hard to turn. It is not as easy to turn. You need to apply more forces, but it is still smooth. It is clickless, so you do need to look where it is at if you need to know. You can turn it from f1.4 to 16. If you don't want to use this manual aperture and use the digital one on the screen instead, just turn it to A, which is automatic. Then you can adjust it on the screen as usually. There are not too many lenses, not too many modern lenses with aperturing. I have to confess that when I was doing photography for 15 years and I was shooting weddings, I was staying away from prime lenses. I always wanted just zoom lenses because I like to frame the shot directly in a camera, and plus I didn't have enough time to get there quickly to get the shot. I was losing a lot of candid moments, so zoom lens for me was the way to go. The only time I was using prime lens was in the evening when everybody settled and I had enough time just to walk around and do creative shots. That's when I loved the prime lens because of the low aperture. Now, when it comes to video, all I want is prime lenses. It is such a big difference, especially the kit lens, 15 to 45 millimeters. It doesn't have such a low aperture, so during evening it's not very good in low light. It is strictly just a vlogging kit, but you certainly see the quality whenever you take any prime lens with any focal length, because usually the aperture is so low. When it comes to pricing, particularly of this lens, I was very surprised that it's not very expensive like all the other lenses. It's actually very reasonable. So if you are interested to see the pricing, it's international link, so you can see the currency based on where you live. The link is as always below the video and video description. Hit the thumbs up if you liked today's video and subscribe to all future videos like these. If you have any questions, comments, or simply want to say hi or ahoy, you know what to do. Leave it in the comment section below, and I'll see you, my friends, in the next video. Ciao, ahoy.